I'm Brittany Johnson, and this is Looking Back, where we look back at what happened in East Idaho this week in history. Let's go back to 1940, when some thieves, they robbed an Idaho Falls movie theater. The thieves, they hid in a balcony until the theater closed for the evening. The janitor, his name was Jack Malloy, he discovered the robbery after walking in and finding that the office was a complete mess. Frank Larson, the manager, he told police that thieves broke open popcorn and candy machines. They took about $50 from a safe. Another safe that had $200 in it was not opened. Moving on to 1952, an officer shot and killed a salmon cafe owner, Willard F. Purvis. He was 37 years old. That was the name of the man who was killed. He owned and operated the Purvis Cafe. He had set his basement apartment on fire one night, forcing his wife and his two daughters, who were 14 and 12, to seek shelter at a neighbor's home. Two officers, they responded shortly after midnight to arrest Purvis on an arson warrant signed by his wife. Purvis's two sons, they were 15 and 17. They warned officers that their father was armed and intoxicated. Officers, they called for Purvis to come out of the basement apartment. He came out with a shotgun. Officers, they told him to put the gun down and submit to arrest. Purvis reportedly shouted back, "You haven't got the guts." Purvis was climbing the stairway when he cocked the shotgun. He lifted the gun like he was going to fire at the officers. And that's when the Salmon police officer, his name was Claude Boyle, he shot the man. An inquest was held and Boyle was exonerated. Purvis started the fire on some clothing in the apartment, but it didn't cause extensive damage. Purvis's family said that the Saturday tragedy climaxed a series of similar incidences. Mrs. Purvis said that her husband became brutal when drinking. The previous Thanksgiving, he beat her so badly that she had to use crutches afterwards. And in 1977, an 18-year-old man told officers that he was assaulted by a man while crossing a street in Pocatello. Robert Clay, he told police that he was crossing the street when a suspect drove past him in a pickup and made a sarcastic remark about his long hair. Clay said that he then made a comment about the suspect being a cowboy. Clay said that the suspect stopped his vehicle, he jumped out, he grabbed him, and he beat him up. The police report said that Clay had a large bump on his forehead, his lips were cut, and his nose was swollen almost twice its original size. That's it for this week's Looking Back, brought to you by newspapers.com. We'll see you next week.